do it rather than project. If you build them in a way that makes sense, you can get a lot of information just from looking at the different colors and shapes on the screen, because you'll know blue dot is water, you know, red X is electric, or green is gas, and you can basically build it to be a lot of info without having a bunch of stuff turned on as far as descriptions.
Well, yeah, so we have different water. We have reclaimed water lines, and those are all purple. I mean, I could make all the reclaimed purple, all the domestic blue. I can.
Yeah, you just got to get those points and lines onto those layers, and then you edit the layer to make it look the way you want. And you can make, as much as possible, make it match what is in here, right? So purple is, like you said, reclaimed, or it will give you a ton more information if you can get that going. You know, and some of that might be getting some of the guys in here on board to get that done.
Thankfully, everybody's really gung ho about streamlining this and making it faster and making this way more user friendly for everyone.
Right. So then the zoom, that's just how you get the list of points, right? It's just a whole entire list. You can actually sort it by however you like, or you can find by whatever you like. It's just one of those, you know. There's a lot of info to sort.
I've done that a bit with that, trying to find.
Right. Codes. And then 3D, you guys don't really have a surface, so it's not going to give you much other than a bunch of 3D points. If you had an actual 3D surface of, say, the stockpile, you would see it on there as like a triangle mesh.
Yeah, so I could
visualize
do the whole job site and see what everything is and where they're at.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then up here, there's tools like creating intersections, creating points on a line, creating areas.
And I could do that directly on there without having to type in information.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So if you had a line, here, and you clicked on, you know, the end point, it'll put points on the end of it for you. If it's just a line with no points, you can make the points real fast, so you don't have to like go back in here and figure it out.
This is gonna make doing all the stuff that I do out there so much easier.
It should.
Able to do that.
It should, and having the line work will probably be huge as well.
Oh yeah.
But as far as the map view, I mean that's 60% of it. You could spend a whole bunch more time going over all these icons in more detail. But as far as just trying to get it through it, connect. That's how you connect to your instrument, which you're familiar with. You got to tell it, is it GPS or is it optical? You guys only have optical, so simple enough. Setup. Once you're connected, that's how you go and basically tie down to the world. You're using the back sight. There's also resection, and then I've used this reference direction a couple times and reference line, where like on smaller custom lots for homes, when they're going to go do the forms for the pads and stuff, they'll just have like property lines, two pins that are offset 20 feet or something, and they'll know where those are only in reference to the plan. So a lot of times we'll go out there, they have the plan, but they don't know where those are. They'll pull a tape and figure out, okay, it's 20 off and it's, you know, so many feet off of this one and this one, and we'll just add those in manually, and then we can use those to orient the machine for the whole job.
I would have been. They wanted me to come out and do that before we even started this building, and I was like, I don't know how to do that.
What did they want you to do exactly?
Well, we had 2 or 3 control points that were ancient, and they were like way off. And I was like, I need this, and this, and I need to have a text file to be able to do anything you want me to do with this. So if you have an old text file, we could probably kind of lay this out and kind of get an idea of what all we're going to take out. And that's what they want to know, is how big this whole area was.
Okay.
And
literally just surface area type thing, or
yeah, because they wanted to know how big they knew, they kind of had an idea, but they wanted something hard to know. You know, they wanted me to come. They asked me to bring the total station out and set it up on some of the stuff from 10 years ago or something like that, and I was like, well, I don't know how to do that. And
we could I could walk you through real quick how you can start a new project. So if I'm hearing it right, basically come out and figure out how big the area is.
Yeah,
right?
They kind of wanted a rough idea of where the building was going to sit in this parking lot that used to be here, and how lay out the whole job perimeter and stuff. And
so depending on how much info you had, I mean, if they just wanted to know how big is the area, you could come out and start a new job, create one point, and just make up northern eastern elevation, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. put the total station there, and then instead of doing a backsite in your setup, you could do the actually you could still do a backsite. I'm not connected, but instead of referencing a point with direction, you just do the azimuth, right? And if you do the azimuth, you're just saying I'm pointed there, and then when you set, you'd still set up your pole and put another point there, like a nail, or mark the concrete. And then when you tell it that you're pointed there, it will give you the option, do you want to measure it and do you want to save it? And if you hit yes, that will make another point for you. So you can come back later and set up again. Mm-hmm. And now you got 2 points. And then once that's done, if you go into your survey measure, you can do a topo and basically just take a few shots this way, take a few shots along the fence, and just boom, here's your area. Yeah. And then they can take all those points and do the surface, and it will give them an actual square footage type thing.
Okay.
They can convert that to acres or whatever they need. So, and then if they wanted to know roughly what does, the existing look like, if you walked a grid and took points, you would get a 3D model. And then if you walk something like existing concrete or something where they maybe had plans that showed them the existing elevation, they could take all that in the office, tie it to existing, and get kind of some rough ideas of what the elevation of existing was. You can do a lot of that without having hardly any info. It's more,
and we had the northings and eastings for those 2 points that would have been kind of a long shot to hit, but we could have done it. Right. And that would have, if I would have known that I could do that, that would have.
So then setup, we talked about that. Survey is how you measure stuff. So auto topo would be time based or distance based, where basically you're just telling the instrument every X number of whatevers take a recording, right? So that's for what we were just talking about. If you came out here, you could just walk it and it will just take shots as you're going without stopping. It won't be as accurate as putting it down on the ground, but a lot of people will just pull the foot off, kind of hover it that much above the ground, keep it as straight as they can, and just let it go boop, 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 and take a shot every like 10 feet.
Yeah, I've seen some of those the bases that when they're doing
the big topo ones.
When they're using the GPS for shooting grade and stuff.
Right. Tape dimension is just how to measure distances. Those are the biggest one you're going to use is the topo. Yeah. And then under stake, you're probably familiar with most of that, but like I said, there's lines and then offset lines. If you did have a 3D model of what the dirt should look like, you could do a surface check, which will give you cut and fill information from existing to design. And then you can stake out line work as well. So this lines is actually like pick 2 points and it draws a line. Yeah. This line is like there's actually a line in my design and I want to stake out that line. So you can make them on the fly, or you can actually have design lines that you're using. That's most of that. And then apps, nobody really uses them other than maybe you take some photos. If you had, actually it's not even in here anymore. There used to be a text to where you could text back to the office, but that might be in another spot. For the most part, those 4, that's you all day, Once you get going, that's all you're doing. Connect, set up, and then either survey or stake out. The map view, though, is... You can do a lot of stuff there really quick. Huge. I mean, you can literally just click a point, click another point, click and hold, and then it will give you what can I do with those points, right? I can stake a point list, I can stake a line with an offset, or I can like calc my inverse, and then it will give me right there, there's 717 feet horizontal distance, and they are slope distance 717, so pretty flat. And you can see it's only got minus 1.5% slope. Yeah, if I go here, I can change it pretty quick. Like if I pick the wrong point, I could hit the map and pick a different point. And then once I hit calc, it'll give me that info. So those are no slope and 32 feet apart. So wherever they're at, they're pretty much on the same plane vertically. That's it. I mean, I think the biggest helpful thing for you would be if you got line work added to the file, because you could stake that stuff out and it saves you a lot of time, and it just builds a better picture of what the job looks like.
Yeah, no, that's wow.
So,
Yeah, that's I don't know. I was sold before, but now
Oh, no, we're
I
good.
gotta absolutely I need this now.
You want to go set it